This is Design Happy, the podcast where we talk about the human side of home design, remodeling, and new construction. I'm TJ.
And I'm Katie, and today we are talking about fit. And we are time traveling. We're coming to you from the future. I guess we're always coming to you from the future, but today we're coming to you from the not so distant future. And we are, full disclosure, we are re-recording an episode. And since we just had trouble re-recording the re-recording, I think we're re-recording now.
Third time's a charm.
We're re-recording an episode that talking about the Design Happy Fit score that we recorded back in November. Anyway, we have a new tool that we wanted to make sure that we featured in this episode so that you can listen and you can use it right away, because that's what we're all about here at Design Happy. We are all about bringing the fries. Period.
No
I'm
explanation.
afraid. No, because if we've learned anything, it's I will take a metaphor and I will bury it in the ground. TJ, what does it mean to bring the fries?
Oh my gosh. So there was a TV show called 30 Rock, and there was a
Heard of
scene
it.
in there. Yeah, oh good.
Yeah.
There was a scene where Tracy Morgan's character demands French fries that he didn't ask for. And he says, "You need to anticipate me." And I was like, that's great. That's really what, from a customer service perspective, that's what we try to do, is anticipate what people need and then give it to them before they ask for it. So one of our core values, our first core value, is fun. So instead of just saying, let's anticipate what people need before they need it, our core value is bring the French fries that no one asked for. So we say French fries. So like Katie said, we recorded this episode. It was done. We have clips.
It's
that,
so good. It was so good.
Oh, it was probably our best one ever.
Truly.
And we're throwing it in the garbage, and we're starting over because we were like, you know what? There's a better way to make this tool. In the book, this is a tool from the book. And in the book, it's a PDF worksheet, and you fill it out yourself and you do math. And some of the math is easy, but at some point you're probably going to need a calculator to do all the addition. And we were like, you know what? It's 2026.
No one has a calculator anymore.
That's right.
No.
It's like, we don't need paper and a PDF for this. There's an easier way to do this. So let's bring the French fries. So between when we first recorded this episode and now when we're re-recording it, we created a digital tool for this worksheet. And we were like, the first episode doesn't make sense anymore because we talked about filling out the worksheet and doing math. So we have to re-record it. But we liked the episode so much that we saved the clips. So,
and we're going to give them to you for free. We're going to give them to you for free this time. Mm-hmm. They were so good. I think I was calling it bonus content. We can't, there's math. There's puppets. Yeah. There are impersonations that may or not be good.
Oh my gosh, that is the meanest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Wow, lucky you. Lucky you. No, and so you're going to get clips, and also you might notice if you go to YouTube and watch that I look a little bit different. Mm-hmm. We're not even going to address that in this episode. We're not even going to talk about it because we are going to talk about it in a future episode. And if you're listening, man, I bet you're edge of your seat wondering, what? I wonder what's different about her. She sounds the same. She didn't have a voice box replacement. But yeah, you'll just have to go on over to YouTube to find out, but we're not even going to address it. To that point, I just need to make sure you, TJ, know, and anybody who knows me knows, you should always bring fries. Uh, like, I am always asking for them without asking for them. I, um, actually did a show a couple years ago and, like, had someone who I had just met doing that show, and we are now forever bonded. Like, we were just getting to know each other, and during one of the long 2 show days in between, um, he was like, "I'm going out. Does anyone need anything?" And I was like, "French fries." And just, like, jokingly, not serious, like, I didn't know where people were going, but, French fry, and, he brought me back the most delicious fries. He was like,
Oh,
"They're
wow.
for you." And I was like, "We are now forever bonded." So, I I'm always out the fry anticipate me. Like, bring the always bring the fries. Um,
Always.
so, okay, enough about french fries. Never enough about french fries. Tell us a little bit about why you created the fit score. Fill
Okay, I
us in.
will.
Give us the backstory, the
Uh,
lore, if you will.
I will. Before we get too, I will do that. But before we get too far in, we're going to be sharing a screen in this podcast. So if you're listening, if you're on Apple or Spotify, you're forewarned. It will be easier to understand this if you watch this episode on YouTube and see the screen share.
If you're
Um,
listening, you can't see me shaking my head. You poor soul, you're missing out. Come
yeah.
on, get over to YouTube. We'll wait. Take a minute. It's fine. Actually, no, we're going ahead.
Mm. Okay. Fit
Yeah.
score. So the the old
Backstory,
adage,
lore.
yeah, the lore. The old adage is if you're doing something, if you're
Mhm,
hiring a service provider, you're supposed to talk to 3 people. So if you're hiring an architect or a contractor or a house cleaner or a realtor or whatever,
mhm.
you're supposed to talk to 3 people, right? That's just the way you do it. But what comes
Yeah.
next? What happens after that? It's like, nobody opened the Perrier, and the horse is like, "I'm waiting." Uh, s so so so
Is anybody still there? Is anybody
no.
still listening? This horse
Oh,
is just like, "Now what?"
yeah.
No. Okay. So
Um,
you
so what the heck do you do after you talk to 3 people? If you just kinda like, "Okay, well, I guess the second person
you
seemed nice."
you pick a name out of a hat.
Like,
You
it's a gut decision, essentially,
s
that's what it is.
yeah. You go like
Or yeah.
this. Oh, there's so much visual in today's
Yeah.
episode.
We should do an episode where it's only visual. Like, if somebody listens to it, there's no sound at all. Like, it's we're miming. It's a lot of we're
It's art.
I'm so
It's art. I mean, no, TJ, that's what this is gonna become. That's
Yeah.
anyway, you yeah, what do you do? What do you do?
Mhm. So you just kind of make a decision, or if there's money involved, like if you're hiring a realtor and
Yeah.
everybody's charging 2.5% or 3%, whatever it is, if that's all equal, you just say, who seemed the nicest? Mhm.
I have an answer to your rhetorical question.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think this is where paralysis happens too. This is a
Sure.
really ideal spot for people to get overwhelmed and not do anything also.
Yeah. For sure. I probably have told this story before, but we have clients that are wrapping up a kitchen project. And a lot of people tell me we've wanted to remodel since we bought the house.
Yeah.
And so my follow-up question is, when did you buy the house? And these people that I'm mentioning that are wrapping up the kitchen project said 40 years ago. So it was the 80s. The Berlin Wall was still up. They bought their house and were like, "Oh, we want to remodel it." And now they're finishing it in 2026 because they didn't do anything because they didn't know what to do and were nervous about making the wrong decision.
I feel for them and I don't want anyone to be in that position. And if you are, just know you're my people.
Yeah.
You're my, we call it the long game. Everyone else in our life calls it something else. Okay. Yes.
All right.
So
So sometimes you pick someone because they're the nicest person.
yeah.
Sometimes you pick someone when, like, if you're doing a remodeling project and you have a budget in your mind of what this project should cost, you hire the company that says yes to that budget.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes, like you're saying, you do nothing because you don't know what the right thing to do is. So I've had so many of these conversations where I was like, before I wrote the book, I was like, all right, part of this book has to be, how do I help people quantify this thing that previously wasn't quantifiable? It's all feelings.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what people are really searching for is the right fit. So we're going to try to score that. So called it the fit score. Not a big leap on the naming front there.
Sometimes the simple is the most innovative. Yeah.
like
It gets
like the
the
like the stay
definition
or
is
go
in the name.
quiz.
Yes.
Um, so it's we name it what it is. So we created the
Call
fit
it
score.
like we see it.
That's it. So what it is a worksheet that you go through that is now digitized. So when we go through it, I'll share my screen and we'll walk you through. It's on the website. It's on designedhappy.com in the education tab. So we'll walk you through it. But what it is, it's a series of categories that we think are important. So like contract type is an important thing to consider when you're hiring somebody to remodel your home.
Mm-hmm.
Are they fun to work with? You're going to be spending a lot of time with these people, probably. So we think you probably want to work with people that are fun. Um, Timing, when can you finish? We think is an important thing to consider. Now, there's a bunch of categories. And we'll show you all of them. What we want you to do is give each category a weight. So if you're like, hey, listen, guy, Uh, I don't care if people are fun. They're outside building a fence. I'm never going to talk to them. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So you can give that category a weight, and then you give all the professionals you talk to a grade for that category. So the weight stays constant. The grade changes for each person you talk to.
Yeah.
And then we went one step further and we said, hey, maybe there's some things that you want to fill in that we didn't think of. So on the bottom, there's some fill in the blanks. And just today, hot off the digital press, I told Katie right before we recorded, I was like, "Hey, Katie, guess what?" And she was like, "I don't know. What now?"
What? With fear in her eyes. What,
So
TJ?
I went into the HTML code and I made everything editable. So if
Nerds rejoice.
yes, that's right. It was in the HTML, it's editable equals false, and I changed all the falses to true. So when you see
TJ's having a
it's
crazy Friday, guys. Before
yep,
9 a.m. Whoa.
yeah, yeah. I know how to
Crazy.
party.
We said fun. First
Hmm.
core value. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, but that is so that it really is like your tool. The like three things here I want to capture before we share it are: one, this allows the unquantifiable or the previously less quantifiable to be more quantifiable, gives you a metric to go to other than, I think, the most comfortable solid metric people can land on is cost. This gives you something else, that quantifiable piece. Two, I don't remember, but three, that you get to 3, maybe 2 was going to be that the categories that are there that can get a weight and a score are a weight and a grade, excuse me, are based on our team's experience, based on the experience we've had over decades with clients, and also, and that we think are like probably some pretty good things to keep in mind. But 3, my third point here, 3, if you don't think so, forget about it. Like, take it off the.
Oh, forget about it. Did you were you in northern New Jersey with Mark or something?
I
Did you
don't know.
take a
It's
tour
this.
of
It's
where?
this new identity. It's this new look. This new me. But that you can go in, and if you're like, I'm glad you think that's important. I don't. You can change it.
Yes, and the reason I was really excited to change the falses to trues was it's
I've really made you wait to say it. I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
it's okay. So we created it originally to help you with home and remodeling projects, but it really does work for any kind of service-based business. So if you're talking to realtors and some of the categories aren't applicable, just you can literally delete them and change them to something else.
Use this for your life.
Yeah,
Use
your
this for
your
all
financial
major life
planners.
decisions.
Yeah.
Should I get a new look? I don't know. Should I get a horse? Fit score it. Should I should I go to northern New Jersey? Fit score it. I don't know. Okay. Anything else before we go to it? Before we go to the fit score.
I think we'll talk about some of the stuff while we're in it. There's other stuff to talk about, but
We'll talk about it.
okay. So I'm gonna share my screen, and Katie, you do
This
me
is
a
a big
favor.
day. Yeah.
You tell me a favor and tell me when you see the fit score.
I'm going to, because this is our first screen share of the podcast.
Is it
First
there?
screen share. It's there. I see it.
Good. Is that our screen share jingle?
I'm gonna work on it. I don't love
Oh,
it.
okay. All right.
It.
We'll
We need
workshop it.
something. We need something. A little catchier, like, uh, it's time to screen share. Boom. Have it.
That
Oh,
was
there we go.
that was better.
It's
Yeah.
time to screen share. Boom.
I like the boom at the end. It's like a
Yeah.
little punctuation at the
I want
end
some
there.
percussion in it. Like, I want
Uh-huh.
some maybe. Anyway, we'll work on it in post. Yeah, we're up. I
Okay,
can
so
see.
we're on the website. We're on designedhappy.com, and Katie, you see the tabs on the top of the screen: home design, portfolio, about, education, contact, right?
I see them. I
Okay,
do.
so this lives under the education tab.
Mhm.
It will look very slightly different when you see it live because this podcast will be at the very top. Since we're recording it right now, it's not currently there. So you see the fit score, the podcast will be there, and then we're giving you some instructions on here just in case. I don't know why this would be true, but if you didn't want to watch this episode again, you could read the instructions, and then we get to the actual fit score. So we're on the website with the digital version of the fit score. And the very first thing we see is if you want to save a PDF at the end, which you can do, it's in the HTML code. The the
Go
formatting,
crazy.
the way it works is it basically takes a screen cap of the worksheet you filled out and saves it as a PDF. So it looks a lot more like a normal piece of paper if you
Yeah.
do it on a computer. If you do it on your phone, it's like you took a screen cap of a really long phone screen and pasted it
Mm.
on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It works. The formatting just looks a lot nicer if you do it on a computer. Okay, so we have a couple of tips at the top. So tip number 1, you're going to fill out a separate fit score for each professional company you're meeting with. So if you're meeting with 3 companies, you'll have, Katie, I'm waiting for you to tell the
3.
people.
3. You'll have
Yeah,
3.
there it is. There it is.
Sorry, I
So,
was I was gone. I was
you know, the funny part, nobody will ever see this, but you and I did this bit the first time we recorded, and I didn't put the pause in there, and I just said 3, and then you jumped in disappointed that I didn't put the pause in, and now
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
now
So,
I'm a different person. Now
yeah, right.
I'm a
Yeah.
different
It
person.
it was a
Um,
it was a
but
different
you will
time.
you want to fill this out for each company
Yes.
that you were
So,
interviewing.
um to that end, there
Yeah.
is a space to fill out that says name of professional slash company. So you want to fill that out. So John Smith or the Smith Remodeling Company or Smith Realtors, whatever. Fill it out and then there's a date and it auto populates a calendar for you because we're that thoughtful. So put the date in there. That way, when you save your PDF, you've memorialized when that meeting was and who it was with. Um, there is also under the tip, there's a scale. It reminds you 1 is low and 5 is high. So everything we're going to talk about is on a 1 to 5 scale. So
I
1 is hot trash and 5 is amazing.
hot trash. And I am someone who personally always needs that scale because I will go through and do something and be like, wait a minute, was 5 hot trash or was okay. And just the reminder that everyone involved in the decision making is going to be doing this on their own.
With same as with all of our tools, you've heard us say it before. If you do the heat map, if you do the future
Future
tests,
test.
if you do the 5 whys, anything you're doing, if there's more than one stakeholder,
Hmm.
they each need to do this. So, Katie, if
Yep.
you and Mark were having 3 contractors come to your house, you 2 would do this separately, and you would end up with 6 total
What?
fit scores at the
Did you not see me getting ready with my hand calculator over here? I
I
know. I
didn't. So
know.
yeah, I'm sharing my screen. You're real tiny on this side. Sorry.
But I
Well,
should be
see,
but I should be full size in your mind.
you know what?
6.
You're
The
right.
answer's the answer's 6.
You're you're right. That's podcast math right there. Okay.
So
So,
everybody, fill this out on
what
your own.
yes. And we'll tell you why in a second. So,
Mhm.
there are a handful of categories here. I'm going to run through them real quick. Company type. So
Yeah.
if you're doing a project at your home and you want to hire a design build company and they are a design build company, then great. If they're an architect and then you're going to have a separate general contractor come, maybe that's less great. Or if you want to hire an architect and it's an architect, great. So company type, that's kind of what we're talking about there. Contract type. So fixed price, cost plus, fixed fee. There's different types of contracts.
Mhm.
Contract variables. This is allowances or change orders. If you ever have heard somebody complain about their project, we're like, oh my God, there were so many change orders. If you care about that type of thing, you'll give it a weight appropriate to how much you care. Timing, in parentheses, when can they finish? Whenever we're talking about a home remodeling or construction project and we're talking about timing, always try to get to when can the project be finished, because I can start your project today. If you said, oh, hey, when can you start? The answer is today. I'll come to your house and I'll make a hole in your wall and the project has been started. Congratulations. You are on your way.
Pop
But
the champagne. Yeah.
yeah, personality, what's it going to be like to work with that person? Communication, are they a good communicator, a bad communicator? Detail oriented, how in the weeds are they going to get? Scope slash company. We've talked about bathroom remodeling before. You can remodel a powder room at your house and you could take out the toilet and replace the toilet, and that's technically a bathroom remodel.
Mhm.
Or you could do an addition and add a primary suite and it's a new bathroom that doesn't currently exist, and both of those are bathroom remodels. Is the company you're talking to suited to do whatever level of complexity this scope entails?
Right. Right.
Budget, value, trust. Can you trust this person? Will they be fun to work with? Now, if somebody's building a fence in your yard and you're not really going to have all that much interaction with them, maybe this one doesn't matter. But if you're doing a big, complicated remodel, you're opting in. We think it should be fun to work
Mhm.
with the people you're working with. Then there's 3 fill in the blanks. It says fill in your own. Now, like I told you before, the super fun time I had was you can actually go in, and if you're like, hey, I don't care about company type at all, I care a lot more about if you're hiring a realtor, let's say size of the brokerage,
Uh,
you could change it from company type to size of the brokerage.
okay.
Right. So you can feel free to do whatever you want here. I'm
Change
doing
it up.
Control Z a whole bunch of times. Change it up. Um, okay, so those are the categories. For every category, you're going to assign it a weight. That weight is unique to you. So, Katie, if you and Mark are having people over, you're going to go through this on your own and
Mhm.
you're going to decide for yourself how much company type matters to you. If it matters a lot, you're going to weigh it a 5. Mark is going to go through it on his own. If it doesn't matter to him at all, he would weigh it a 1.
Yep.
Do not compare notes. This is not the time to have a conversation because what we're trying to do is figure out what's important to you in this project. Separate from that, what's important to Mark.
And the weight again is the category that is going to stay the same regardless
Mhm.
of who you are interviewing, correct?
Yes, correct.
And do even though there is a scale 1 to 5, if you find yourself putting like 3s for everything, is that something where you would encourage people to like get to one end or the other on more of these categories than not, or is it fine to land in all 3s?
It's I would say it's fine
Okay.
because everybody you talk to, the grades are going to be different for sure.
Yeah.
Like if somebody is very personable and someone else is not personable at all, and one person's a 5 and one person's a 1, when the math happens, the subtotal for that category is going to be very different. So even if you have some level of ambivalence to this and you're like, I don't really
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's why it's a great tool too, because at this stage, you might not be sure and
Mhm.
you will still get a metric at the end. So, okay, cool.
Yes. So you're going to go through and you're going to set all your weights. So
Mhm.
the PDF part of it is important too, because if you're having one conversation today and the next conversation's a week from now, you might not remember what you weighted all of these, and it is important for them to be consistent. So you can go back to your PDF and say, oh, okay, company type was a 5. I'm going to mark
Right.
that a 5.
Right.
And so then Mark will go through and maybe Mark says, oh, contract type is really important to me. And he marks that a 5. Or maybe one of you say contract variables. I don't care. You mark
Yeah.
it a 1. If you say this thing isn't important to me at all, it's a 0. Just leave it blank.
Mhm.
Or like I showed you before, cross it out and fill in something that is more relevant to your decision making.
And this might be a place where, especially if you are doing it with a partner, you might really want to be like, well, I wonder how important it is to them. Would you say, TJ, like, don't really fill this out on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
great.
Really, truly fill
We
it out.
mean it,
And
guys.
yeah. Yep.
Stop looking at the other's paper. Okay. Okay.
Yes. But there will be time for conversation.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time to compare notes. This right now isn't the time. So you go
Yep.
through the weight, and I'm just gonna pick some stuff here just for the sake of this exercise. And I'm filling in numbers, and there's a drop down. If you didn't listen to my advice before, and you're listening to this on your commute and you're not watching what we're doing, there's a drop down and I'm choosing numbers between 1 through 5. You don't even have to type a number. So all
Does
of
it
these
for you.
categories now have weights 1 through 5.
Yep.
And just to reiterate, those weights will never change for you. They're going to be consistent for every service provider you're talking to.
So get that PDF.
So now let's just type pro number 1 in the name of professional. And we are recording this on Friday the 16th. So that is the date. And then we're going to say, okay, we'll go through the grade now. So the
Mm-hmm.
grade is how that professional scores in that category. So the weight is consistent, the grade changes. The easy way to think about it is the weight is what's important to you,
Yeah.
and the grade is that person's relationship to the category. So go
Yes.
ahead.
I was going to say it's like I'm thinking of it because it's the end of a school quarter right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the percentage that an assignment counts towards your grade doesn't change. But how you score on
Mm-hmm.
that assignment does. So it, I just, I made it worse. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
So if you wanted to hire a design build firm and you put the weight as a 5, and the
Mm-hmm.
first company, pro number 1, is a design build firm, great. You can grade them a 5. And
Yeah.
then what happens is the math is done for you. So the subtotal is weight times grade, and it automatically did the multiplication. So 5 times 5 is 25, and there it is. So contract type, let's say you want to sign a fixed price contract. That's really important to you. And this design build firm only does time and materials contracts, which is basically the opposite of a fixed price contract. You
Yeah.
would grade them a 1. So you can see it did the multiplication again. Weight times grade, 5 times 1 is 5. So
Mm.
I'm going to go through all these other ones real quick, and I'm going to make up fake grades for pro number 1, and we'll see what happens at the bottom here. Spoiler alert, it's going to do the
Suspense is
math for
building.
you.
Suspense
Yeah.
is building. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so at the bottom in Designed Happy Blue, the fit score is totaled up for you. So it adds all of the subtotals for the categories, and pro number 1 got a fit score of 149. Yeah. Is that good or bad? We don't know. We have
We
no
don't
clue.
know.
There's nothing to compare it to. So right now it's just a number. So what you would click is you would click download PDF. It'll save the PDF for you, put it in your wherever you want to save it. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you're having multiple conversations in a row, you could click the reset button and go back to 0. You could click the grades back to 0 and keep the weights the same if you wanted to. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And then let's say the other person's about to knock on the door. Pro number 1 left, and now pro number 2 is coming. So I'm going to change the name. That happens a lot. Change the I have walked into people's houses as another person is walking out, and it's just like an awkward like, oh, hello to
I
you.
thought you were being
No,
facetious. Okay.
no,
It's
no.
time for pro
All
number 2.
Yeah. So pro number 2 comes in. The
Yep.
weights stay the same, and now
Don't change that.
you're gonna grade them. So let's say you wanted to hire a design build firm, but they're a general contractor, but
Mm.
they're a very well respected general contractor, and
Mm.
they're gonna hire an architect on your behalf. So it's not technically design build, but it's sort of design build. So maybe you give them a grade of 3, and they
Okay.
do offer fixed price contracts. So you grade them a 5. So then I'll click through here again with fake grades here, and we'll
Yep.
just find out what happens at the
Just to
bottom
just to get a score.
just to get a score.
What if it's the
Okay.
exact same score? Oh. What if
uh,
like tag? Great.
so we had our conversation with pro number 2, and their fit score was a 135.
Uh-huh.
So to me,
We're
right
learning
away,
something.
yeah, I'm what I'm realizing right now is like, you know what? I really thought that the contract type was super important, and I might have made a decision based only on the contract type. But when I look at this professional in totality,
Mhm.
The first professional was really a better fit for my project. They scored a lot higher. 14
Mhm.
points is a lot.
Yeah.
So you do that 3 times if you're talking to 3 professionals.
Yes, and you will it's again graded on a curve in a way, and what you just outlined is also the like you in the moment talking with someone, your brain, your system could feel like, "Oh, that was good. I felt good about that." And then you when you have the number, it kind of gives you the opportunity to pull out and have some perspective there. So, okay, let's say we've done this for all three professionals.
Yeah.
Everyone involved has done it. What next? What do we
Okay.
do with this next?
Um, I'm gonna stop sharing, because we went through the fit score. We're done filling them out, and now
Yep.
it's time to have a conversation. So we don't need to review this anymore. We did it.
Nope. And you have your PDFs.
You
You have
do.
them. You have them in front of you. You've printed them. Maybe I don't know, maybe you're doing a slide deck. What do we do?
So,
Tell us what
okay.
to do.
So you and Mark had 3 people come over. You
Yeah,
did your fit scores separately. You didn't try to influence each other on the weights.
we would
And now
never.
you would never. Now
Mm-mm.
you have 6 of these PDFs. So now's the time to say, "Hey, Mark. Hey, buddy.
Hey, hey,
Who"
is that your impression of me? Hey, buddy. Hey, friend. Wanna chat? Wanna compare fit scores? Is that what I say? Wanna?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if does Mark even know the term fit sc you should after this,
Yeah.
just be like, "Hey, Mark, you want wanna compare fit scores?" And just see what he says and report back. I
You don't think this is what we were doing last Friday night in preparation for a re-record? We didn't even know at that point. But like,
Uh,
of course, this is our date night. But you however you choose to come together, you come together with your scores.
yes, and the first thing you do is do it however if you want it to be a big reveal, at the same time,
Oh my gosh.
let's say which of the professionals got the highest score.
Yes.
That's what we wanna know first. So, like, if Kat and I were doing this, that's the
Yeah.
ridiculous way that I would do it. I say, "Okay,
My
on the
gosh.
count of 3," I might even say, "Okay, write it on a Post-it note," and then
Oh,
we'll
no, that's what I'm like, I'm not all about, like, the gender reveal cakes and parties and, like, balloon send-offs, but, like, I want it for this. I'm gonna take it to a bakery and have them bake the number inside a cake,
Oh.
and then Mark's gonna have to cut the cake and open and, like so it's gonna take a while is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so the professionals are gonna be following up with you and like, "Oh, hey, Katie and Mark, have you all made a decision?" You're like, "No, no, we're waiting for the bakery." And they're
We're
gonna be like,
like,
"What
not enough
what are you"
people have RSVP'd to the, like, fit score reveal party yet, so I'm gonna
Oh, you know what would be amazing if you invited the service providers to the reveal party.
now it's just a reality TV show.
Yeah. Oh,
What are we talking about?
I don't know, but I wanna pitch that to Netflix right now.
This again, it's the kind of reveal party I'm here for. So however you do it, get creative. Leave it in the comments. Send us your own video of your fit score reveal party. You reveal your scores. Let's
Yes.
cross this bridge.
Okay. Yeah, we've gotten there. So you and Mark share whoever scored the highest, pro number 1, 2, 3. If it's the same professional, that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. Your weights don't matter. The grades don't matter. Professional number 2 got the highest total fit score for both of you. Amazing. You're done. Hire that company. Finished. Um, if it's not the same,
Yeah.
then we say, okay, This is this is where the conversation happens. And if it's the same, it doesn't even matter how you got there.
No,
Or like if you weighted contract type a 5 and Mark rated it a 1,
right.
but
Doesn't
but you
matter.
still yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's the beauty of the fit score. But okay, but it didn't. And now we have to arm wrestle?
Now you arm wrestle. Yes. Yep.
Talk about a
Yep.
big reveal. Now you fight to the death.
What's that cake? Is it a king cake that they bake?
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
bake if you and Mark give your fit scores to the bakery and you don't agree, they hide a little plastic arm in the cake somewhere. And then you're like, oh, it's an arm. It's time for the arm wrestle. And then the boom boom boom, the arm wrestle music comes in. Um,
I think we have another I think we have a I think we have another spoke in the Designed Happy business opening up here. I think we have
yeah,
another
that's right. Now here's the problem. We can't run this episode now, and we need to re-record because we need time to pitch the show idea.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because king cakes are for Mardi Gras. And I was like, because now it needs to come out. Now we need to be Mardi Gras themed. Anyway.
Nope. No, we don't. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm sorry. So we're already so far over.
Well,
So
no, I'm so part of the reason we had to re-record is it just stopped recording. So both you and I are going through this recording like, please don't stop recording. Please don't stop recording. Please. But we are our own worst enemy here. We're like,
playing it fast and loose.
Okay.
Okay, so.
We don't agree.
You don't agree. You and Mark don't agree. Kat and I don't agree. You want professional 1 and Mark wants professional 3. Kat wants professional 2 and I want professional 2. Wait, no, that would be good. 2 and I want
great.
professional 1.
You guys are fine.
That's so funny. My Freudian slip is Kat and I just agree.
We just later episode.
Oh
okay.
God.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Kat, when she's going to listen to this on Tuesday, I love you so much. See, even my subconscious knows
that we're picking the same professional.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So we don't agree and we need to talk about it. So the first thing I would say is, okay, let's look at the total scores.
Yeah.
So what's the high? So if it's somebody gets a 155 and that's my highest and Kat's highest is a 133. I feel super strongly about one person over the other two. Like if it's a 155 and the other two are a 120.
Right.
And
What's
it's like,
your
oh my
range?
God, like this one professional is so much better than these other two.
Yeah.
And then cats are all sort of around the same, like the winner, the air quotes winner is just 1 point higher. Then let's talk about, how much do you really care about that one? Because I care a lot. I had a very strong opinion.
Yeah. This is like, so we're contextualizing it.
Yes.
Like we're looking at great. And that's the important piece there. Like what was the range of your scores?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And the total doesn't matter because maybe I'm just an easy grader. Like maybe maybe it's a 151, a 152 and a 153.
The teacher everybody wants to have. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe Kat was like a 135 was her highest, but the other two were 20s. Right? Like, so the delta is more important than the total.
Right.
Okay. So
talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Right.
If you're still totally apart on this, that's when I would get into the nuance of, okay, let's talk about, why is it important to you? Why did you put the weight of 5 on contract type? And why did I put a weight of 1 on contract type? Or, hey, we both did a weight of 5 on contract type. Why did you, I thought that person's contract type was super straightforward. Why did you give it a 1? I gave it a 5.
And really, like, say it like that. This is where you don't need to be watching, but hear the tone. I'm sorry. Like a moment of advocating for so much ambivalence and conflict comes from the things we are afraid to talk about, right? And in this, it opens up, it's almost like cooler if you don't match up on scores because you get to talk through all of these elements. The fit score gives you a um, paradigm, a framework for that conversation. And like the way you were saying, instead of like, why'd you give that? Why did you like actually like why? I want to know why. And I think that's going to be like one, that's just better for everybody. And two, and probably better for your relationship. And two, it's going to be more effective in this process.
Yeah, it will be. So if you come into that conversation from a place of curiosity and not defensiveness, like you're saying, this is the part where having a therapist on the podcast is great. Because it's all great, but like specifically right now, like there's good reason to do it.
Yeah. But that's a good, like, and if you were feeling defensive, like take a minute, come back. Really make it your date night, guys. Hey, buddy, let's talk fit scores. But to really use it as a conversation starter, not as a debate, not as a, it shouldn't put you in the position of having to defend your score, but put you in the position of curiosity, like you're saying.
Yes. And the reason this is very important is uh, when you hire somebody, you want to be aligned. So have the conversation before you sign the contract. Because
Mm-hmm.
if one person's just like, that's ridiculous. What? And then they win, air quotes, win. And then you go into it. That's when your service provider is playing marriage counselor.
Yeah,
And
that's when you're
the,
choosing someone under duress.
yeah. And I have been in that position a whole bunch of times. And I try to make stupid jokes to alleviate the tension. It's like, oh, I should have been taking marriage counseling classes in architecture school. I'm not sure. I'm not trained to do that. Like, I'm not a licensed therapist, but that's the position that your service providers get put in when they're trying to diffuse the conflict that could have been resolved before you ever signed
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you're not getting what you want. You're not getting you are probably not going to have a process that like matches your why effectively enough. So, okay. That's our plug for marriage counseling.
that's it. So can I wrap it up in a little bow, Katie?
Please,
Okay.
please.
So what the goal here, the why are we doing this to begin with? We wanted you, homeowners, to have a tool to facilitate conversation first. And then the result of that conversation is the ability to make a better decision about the kinds of service professionals that fit the type of project or service you're looking to buy. So we're creating alignment for you, and then after that, alignment with your service provider. So that's the goal of this exercise.
And the goal of having it available on the website, having it actually as something you can go to, is that you don't have to take out a pencil and you don't have to go unearth your calculator. You don't have to go find your calculator
No TI
that we're all
85s.
carrying around
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. And that's so really like this is something that like again, go try it out. Again, it's on our website under the education tab. You will see this video there. The directions are pretty clear, but watch again if you need to walk through it, and use it for use it in good health. Is that that's the saying? Use it in good health and
Yeah.
for I don't know. I'd be kind of curious to hear like I want to hear fit score stories of like what people used it for that they never thought they would use it for.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Share your stories, folks.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
us know.
awesome. TJ, thanks for building this and thanks for walking us through it.
Oh, no problem. I was so happy to change those falses to trues.
I know. The weekend is off to a good start already. All right. Is that it for now? Did we do it?
We did it.
All right. Till next time, everybody.
See you then.
Bye.